Everybody, welcome to another episode of Pocket Change. We are the number one listened to by intelligent and fun people who like to resell. Again, thanks for the comments. Hey, how's it going, Joel?
Folks, I don't know what kind of mood Ben's is in today. Wow. He likes to hit me with these surprise statements that I cannot say on air right before he hits record. Then he goes and says that. I do think that we are the world's most well-hidden, best podcast on reselling. Not because we're really that pretty, but because I do believe we try to give you guys as much information as we possibly can rather than just talk about ourselves. And a lot of podcasts out there, that's what they do. They talk about themselves. But also, I don't want to crack on all of them because I watch a lot of them, and the ones I watch, they talk about things new and exciting and happenings on eBay. And that's the ones I like to watch, and you guys are watching us. I hope you appreciate that about our podcast here. That being said, what a week. It has actually been a pretty good week. I don't know about you. We'll start with you. How's your sales been on eBay? What else been going on there? Well, wait, before we get into that, we need to
express our love for the people that listen to the podcast.
Oh, that's right. We love you. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Sorry. You meant play this.
From the very bottom of my heart.
Play this.
Pocket change, where the stories are weird and the profits are strange. We win some, lose some. All fair play. Come ride a pocket change. Go ride a pocket change. Pocket change.
All right, now before he starts talking, folks, I usually express my love for you.
I know. I was just screwing with you.
If you've listened till the end, I really love you. Just kidding. We're not monetized, so it don't matter. If you clicked on us and listened,
listen to the end.
We appreciate
That's where we get the best information is in the last 11 seconds of the podcast. Hey, we want to know what you're shipping out there. I'm thinking of all the things that there's one podcast that they start, their whole thing was, hey, we're going to ask you what you're shipping at the beginning of the podcast. And they go, so that way you can tell what you shipped over the weekend. They forget to do it, so then another podcast stole it from them, and now they're trying to steal it back. But I'm going to steal it and say, hey, what are you guys shipping out there? Tell us in the comments, the 3 people that comment. Thank you. Secondly, I love how all these podcasts talk about, oh, we started sale of the week. We started find of the week. Nobody started that. That's what the whole damn thing is what'd you sell this week? If you think that you started the segment sale of the week, I'm pretty sure the very first podcast or the very first episode of anything that had to do with reselling was something about selling for the week. I don't know. You can't claim these things. They're evergreen and everybody's going to do them. Now, pick and pass, we started that, but I'm pretty sure that's happened on another podcast at some point or another.
I don't
think it has. I think we started that, and if anybody does pick or pass, we get a royalty. So please, somebody start it, because I listen to every podcast. I have no life. I will call it out.
I don't know if we have that. Oh, Lord. You know something? eBay has really, I'm just going to throw this out here. Folks, don't get me wrong. Love it. But I've been trying to get into my eBay account since the last, what do you want me to do here, eBay? What do you want me to do? I've been trying to sign in, and they've started all this new 2-factor authentication stuff, and it just makes it so. Thank you. I verified it was me. They make it so hard. You got to verify numbers. You got to pick all these. I got the CAPTCHA, and now I had to say it was me.
I just tell it, no, I don't want to do that.
And now I'm having to tell it to trust my browser. It's just getting a little bit ridiculous.
At least nobody can steal your account. Oh, shit, someone stole my account.
Oh. Folks, I'm just going to say this. If you want to steal my poor little account, you're not getting a whole lot. Now, Ben's is on the other hand.
Nah, it ain't great. I can redo it in a week. No, I couldn't. But
so is that how we're going to ask, though? Is that how we're going to ask now?
What you shipping in the morning? What you ship over the weekend?
What you I ship
Yeah,
my put your
that's
ship
exactly what I told them. That's what I said. I shit my pants. That was my comment.
Just what a Kmart commercial.
I love that the fact
I shipped my
they were
pants.
going. It was a burning ship. It's going down. They knew they weren't going to make it, and somebody, you know what? Let's have fun with it. Let's just put I shit my pants. And they're like, we can't do that. And he's, oh ship. Oh, we can ship our pants. Yeah. And then a week later, the Kmart next to my house in California shut down and became a homeless encampment. So that's what happened. That's the truth. Swear.
Oh man. Well, I'll give you a quick update before we get into this, folks. You remember a few weeks ago I talked about the whole self-checkout thing. It's hilarious now. I walked in there after hearing all that, reading all that, digesting all that for my other life.
Yes.
I walk into Food Line and guess what
Put in the
cut down to 3 or 4 registers and all these self-checkouts. And I'm like, who is y'all CEO? He's obviously
he's not paying attention. I had this great idea. Let's let them do all the work. What? No, that's crazy.
Technically, that's what we do on eBay, right? Oh, eBay just now told me a new device is using.
Right? You need to buy some shoes?
eBay just now told me a new device is using your account.
I thought you said eBay just told me I need to buy new shoes. I'm like, how does eBay know what you got on your feet?
Hey, wouldn't that be awesome if we could hook up eBay to do that, folks? If you're on this right now and you're a reseller, I think, and even if you're not a reseller, even it'd be awesome. eBay tells you when, hey, by the way, your shoes are looking kind of crappy. You need to buy some new shoes. Hey, your pants has got some threads. I saw your underwear. They got plenty of holes. Time to buy some new ones. That would be
They'll
awesome.
put sensors and everything, and in your washing machine, like, hey, I've seen a lot of fecal matter in there. I think you need to start wearing Depends. Just saying, it's out there.
I did tell somebody the other day. I said they were like, I don't know, this AI robot age we're going into is really making me nervous. I said, well, I have my concerns about it too, but if I get a Rosie out of it, I'm good. They looked at me like, what's a Rosie? And I was like, are you serious? You're as old as I am, and you don't remember the Jetsons.
You just tell them, oh, that's a gay term for a blowjob. Yeah, that's what a Rosie is. They just walk away. Because if they don't know who Rosie is, they don't need to know who Rosie is.
Anyway, I want my
Me too.
Rosie, and so I want my robot that does laundry, cooks, and cleans. And it's not because those are the jobs I do around here. I actually need a robot that builds stuff and
there you go.
stuff.
You need a Roger.
But anyway, so what you been shipping over there? How's the week been?
So I realized, I don't know, probably the 16th of the month, I was redoing everything. And I went in and I took all my promoted listings off. I deleted it because I redo it, right? And then for 5 days, I really didn't sell anything. Had no views, and I'm like, what is going on? And then I realized, oh, yeah, I had nothing promoted. So I was selling nothing. And it was like, I was getting no views. And I figured it out. So then I turned on I went back in, started a new campaign, 6% promotion. And since then, I've sold like 7 things. That really tells you that promotion works, especially if you're not doing anything else, right? So I sold 7 things, and that was the 20th. So in 4 days, I sold 7 things. So I can't complain. So promotions do work, people, especially if you're lazy. So I got stuff to ship now.
I think that's part of it too, because you and I haven't really been
Right.
listing like we should anyway. Even now, I'm like, because last episode, we had a week and a half left of the month, maybe 2 weeks. And I'm like, honestly, why even bother now? As long as I can get enough going to make the money that I need to cover my nut, as it's called, cover my seed, cover my whatever you want to call it, cover the debt that I've got with my account. Don't make this funny. Covering the nut is like a squirrel.
I didn't say
Put money
anything.
back in the
And then you went from nut to
Anyway,
seed.
he made a face,
You're getting
folks.
dirtier and dirtier.
He
I didn't say anything. You thought of it on your own.
You snickered.
I snicker
saw
about
you.
everything. I'd like a Snickers right now.
Anyway, Folks, family show. We're trying to keep this as clean as
100%
possible.
clean.
Here's the thing. Cover your debt. As long as I make it up to cover my debt, I'm okay. And June 1st, I'm going to really make sure that from there, because that's supposed to be one of the worst months for eBay is June. I want to see if I do everything the way it's supposed to do. List every day, expand my store, do what I'm supposed to do. How well will my month of June be? Because all the old-timer eBayers say, oh, June's the worst month possible. Don't even worry about June. It's terrible. June and July. Actually, what is it they
Starts
say?
with
Any
a
month
J.
that begins with J. Yeah. So January, I had a pretty good January. June, July, Juniper. June.
I think it's an old German proverb. Anything that starts with a J is bad. I don't know. Somebody was telling me that, but
That's just terrible. My wife's name's Julie.
I'm Jeff. I'm
I don't believe
screwed.
that at all. Yeah, well, you too. But anyway, here's the thing. So my week has been actually really good for what it is. I've sold like
Nice.
4 things. I think 4 things. And I can't complain. Oh, I sold another one of the books for somebody apparently, we're apparently having an uptick in right now in people taking their securities licenses. Those books do sell, folks. I'm going to tell you about what I've learned about education books right quick. Wrap this in because I've sold 2 in the last
Educate
little
someone.
bit, just in the last like week and a half. Yeah. Here's the big thing you've got to watch for. When you're out there looking at these types of things, you've got to pay attention to the editions. I have one, I just threw it away because when I looked it up, they released another edition. It's probably not going to sell. If you look online, guys, anything that's like an educational type book, once they release another edition or an updated edition, the older editions, they'll hang on for a little bit, like for college textbooks, but really not that long, maybe 6 months. And then if you don't sell it in that 6 months, it's done. So pay attention because a lot of times I've noticed as I've been out there looking for stuff here lately, thrift stores, bargain hunts, those types of things, yard sales, you can find a lot of books, and you find a lot of educational books, but they're not the right edition. They're not up to date. Now, that being said, don't confuse what I'm saying and translate that into older books where you're looking for the old editions, like first and second, like Ben's had for Pick or Pass a week or so ago. He had what was it, first edition one you had?
No, it wasn't on Pick a Pass. It was just something that I found. There will be a Daybreak soon. It's a $100 book. It just happened to be in my books. That's what I did today. I was going through all my books. I probably went through 14 10 by 20 by 12 boxes. And found maybe 30 books that are good. The rest of them I just donated. I put them in a car and took them, donated them, got rid of them. And they were still okay. Some were like, but anything under $20, I just don't want to deal with it when it comes to a book. Because they're heavy and all that and the other. A lot of the bigger table books aren't worth anything. Or they are. Like, I had one that was worth $20. But I weighed 6 pounds. And I'm like, you know what? By the time they pay the shipping on this, they're not going to want to buy it. So I donated that as well.
So what was your sale of the week?
My sale of the week was a belt buckle. It was shaped like the state of Arizona with the symbol of Mercury in the middle. Let me share it. I'll show you. It's cool. I sold it for $29. Not a high dollar sale.
Hey, was that your gross or what you actually made on it?
No, I sold it for $29 plus shipping. Ended up making $26 after everything, because the shipping I apparently had in heavy. So
what's the
I have no
symbol
idea.
in the center of that?
It was cool, and I listed it. I knew it was cool, right? But I didn't know what it meant. It's the symbol for Mercury. Is the symbol some cult? I'm sure.
Are there Mercury mines in
Looks like a cult.
or
Yeah. It's the shape of Arizona.
Well, I wasn't going to say a cult. I was going to say, are there Mercury mines? Maybe somebody worked for a Mercury
I have no
company.
idea, but I knew it was neat, and it was different, so I priced it up, and eventually it sold. So.
Oh, that's interesting. That is really interesting. I guess my sale of the week would have to be the book. It's the one I made the most money on, and it's going for a good cause to somebody who is advancing their career, and I was happy to be able to hand it to them a whole lot cheaper than what they could get it for from the publisher. Now, I will say this, I did end up selling also a socket, one of my lovely sockets from back here. But again, those are $5 items, folks, a lot of them, and I ended up making, after it's all said and done, about $1.30. So, you know, but it's $1.30 I
so
didn't
this
have.
week
So.
they sold a tool, like Allen wrench set, 3 belt buckles, a die cast car, a poke card, and some buttons. That's my sales for the week.
Hey, it's a pretty good week. What about feedback?
Feedback, I got 2 this week. One said, nice, thanks. And the other one said, took a while to ship, but came in great shape, and they accepted my offer. And you know what? That was while I was on vacation. And they sent me a note, like, twice. Hey, you going to ship this? I'm like, I'm not back till X date. And then he sent me a note. He said, hey, are you ever going to ship this? And I said, yeah, I'm shipping it tomorrow. I'm back tomorrow. But he didn't give me any negative. He did, though, put in there. It took a while to ship. But he bought that when I was on vacation. It would have told him when it was going to ship. But some people just don't pay attention.
They don't pay attention to it. And apparently he wasn't paying attention to his messages either, because you said, I told him, look, I'm on vacation. And sometimes, too, I hate to say this, that's great feedback, and it's really good that he did that. Sometimes they're fishing, too. It's gotten to where there's money's tight, folks, and so we just have to deal with the fact that sometimes people are fishing for a discount. And that's one of the things, but it is great feedback. My feedback, I'm still just getting automatics. And I'm not asking. Last time I asked, I got 3 neutrals in a row. So I do not ask.
Yeah, don't. Just let it go. I did, you know what? I went out at lunch this week. I like to go to Little Caesars. They have those little, you ever get those? They have little cups. They're like basically cupcakes, but pizza cupcakes. Have you seen them? Yeah, so you get 4 of them and a thing with a drink, and it's $5. That's a pretty decent lunch. This week, I used to get Diet Pepsi, but I saw this in the machine. Mountain Dew Mango Rush. Mango Sweet Heat.
Pretty good.
Only available at Little Caesars. So, yeah.
Really?
See,
I have to stop by
check it
Little
out.
Caesars and see if it's...
I didn't try it because I figured I'd try it here on the podcast. I don't like spicy, though. It's not spicy. It's delicious. You should go there. Go there. Get one. You like Mountain Dew.
Okay, I'll get you. I do. I love Mountain Dew.
That's why I saved it. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Now, I didn't drink mine usually diet.
Mango. Yeah, they didn't have diet.
That's okay. I can try a little
Get
bit of
yourself
it.
a little cups and one of them for $5. Oh.
And no, Pepsi Cola is not a sponsor of ours, folks. It's just what we like to drink. Although, Mr. Pepsi, apparently we just did a Mountain Dew thing. If you want to sponsor us,
or more importantly, Little Caesars. I eat you every day, at least twice a week. I'd be a great sponsor. Middle-aged fat guys love pizza. What? What's funny about that?
When you run that back, you'll catch it. Yes, middle-aged fat guys love pizza.
I said I eat you? Yeah, I do. Pizza, bitch.
I used to go quite a bit and get what was it? They had the $5 pizzas, but then they actually started doing that lunch special.
Yeah, that's what got me hooked on that.
I don't know if they still have that.
I love their pretzel pizza. I don't know if you've never had it, but it's with the salt and the cheese sauce. But the problem is, I have no self-control. So if I buy a whole pizza, I'm going to eat way too much at lunch and be like, oh. And I found those little cups are just the right amount, and they're $5.
Around here, they used to do the lunch. Of course, I think they quit doing the lunch.
They don't do it
box
anymore here either. That's why I do that. They used to do it. It was basically one of those Detroit-style pizzas, like a half of one and then a drink. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that doesn't happen here anymore either.
And now here it was like 2 sticks with it. You got 2 small in one side,
Yeah.
because there's a box. You open it up. It had the little
Yeah.
deep dish size over here on one side, 2 sticks, and your marinara sauce for
Was
your
in there.
2 sticks in a little build-up
Yeah, they were doing for a while here where they did. That's just the box, but it was half of the pizza. The other half was cheese sticks, and it would come with marinara sauce, which was really good. So they basically didn't put sauce in the other half, just put cheese, garlic butter. All right, now I'm hungry. We got to end the podcast.
What a regional thing. Yeah.
Hey,
Bye,
we
y'all.
gotta eat.
We gotta go eat. My wife fed me a taco salad before I came, and well, the meat was good, and the whole thing was delicious. It's just salad. Just for some reason, my body consumes salad like it's nothing.
Because
like
it's just
air.
water. Really, it is.
So I'll be eating something again
That's
soon
what
later.
celery.
But
It takes more calories to chew it than it has in it. So So you can you could eat
Good to know
celery nonstop, never gain weight, and actually die because there's no nutritional value really. So I ate myself to death on celery.
Committed suicide by eating celery. Wow. Anyway,
Everybody's got to have a hobby.
so we have talked about our feedback, talked about our favorite sell of the week. We didn't talk about our favorite seller, but our favorite buyer. But I guess you could name one. I don't really have a favorite buyer.
That was a stupid thing, so we're going to move on from that. I didn't like that. Somebody needs to steal that from us. I didn't care for it.
Somebody steal the favorite buyer. You can be the one.
You can claim it's yours too. I don't care.
Here's the thing. I don't get, and you're right. Some podcasts are starting to claim things. I don't understand why we're doing that, unless we're trying to pick beef with each other. And the other thing is, there's only so much you can do.
There's only so many segments. Yeah, the one brought up Death of the Week. That went over like a lead balloon. Yeah, every week they're going to pick somebody who died and talk about them.
Why would you do that on a podcast for eBay reselling?
It's original.
Hey, it is absolutely original. And not one.
No, I don't want anything to do with
that. It sounds kind of morbid, like it would be.
It should be on that podcast, Morbid. There you go. Which is number 2 in podcasts for true crime. And they're not doing it, so I'm pretty sure it's not a good bit.
Anyway, listen about eBay news.
Hold on, before that, what I did this week. I started thinking, so yesterday I did go to the, flea market setup. So that went well. And I made about $900 selling junk. Yeah,
I
sold
serious?
a lot of junk. But I sold a lot of my whole car. $900. I came home with nothing. At the end, I just gave away everything to some guy. So I was happy with that number. I was thinking I'd make $500. I made $900.
You had your boxes sitting out there for your $5 items, basically, that we're starting to reject. With $1,
yeah,
$3,
I ended up with
$10.
$1, $2, $3, $5 boxes, and then I had some, and I sold all my sockets that you have there. I had 2 boxes of sockets I took with me. I said $2 a piece, and then I sold them all to one guy at $150 a box, and I'm sure he got a lot of sockets for $150 per box. There probably was 150 in each one, or maybe less. I don't know, but probably about $1 a piece. He said, I'll give you $100 for 2 of them. I said, no. I said, I'm selling. They've been selling all day for $2 a piece. And he's like, how many's in there? I said, I don't know. It's probably 100 in each one. And if you're going to buy them all, I'll go $1.50. And then he started counting. He got to 50, and then that was like maybe a eighth of the box. And he realized, oh, there's a lot more in there than I'm thinking. He said, yeah, I'll take them. So that was $300 of my money. Was those 2 buckets of sockets.
Still, that's pretty good.
I'm going again next weekend for sure. But at the same time, this week I've been looking at different avenues of selling because I have too much stuff, people. I have 2 storage units, and that didn't even dent my garage. So I have signed up and onboarded with an online auction that has local pickup. So I did that this week. I went and did the orientation, and so now it's basically $100 to do an auction, and I can have as many lots as I want. Been watching them on there. I think 100 lots is probably a good number. I think more than that's going to take too long to sell. So basically $1 a pop to sell them. They start at $1, but I've been watching other things sell. I do believe. So it doesn't. It's $100 or 30%. But 30% I'm good with. I'd be happy. I'd be more happy to pay the 30% than the $100 and not make to the 30%. So I'm going to do that this week.
With that, you can definitely get rid of the stuff like the lamps and the tables and all that stuff that you had bought that ended up being too. It's just stuff that's not selling anywhere close.
Yeah, anything I don't want to ship, I'll definitely run on there. But I was thinking of those sockets. I still have, I don't know, 8 more boxes of sockets, which I could probably sell for. I think I get more from them on there. Say I took and lotted them 8 at a time or 10 at a time, because that's what I see a lot of the places have. There's some people that lot massive amounts of stuff, and I think if you lotted a third of that, you'd still get the same amount of money because it hits a max, right? I think if I took a whole box of sockets and put it on there, there's no way I would get $150 for that box of sockets. But I think if I had a dozen sockets, I could get $5 or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, probably more than that. I'm just saying I could tie. I don't think 100 sockets is going to give you 10 times the amount you would get for 10 sockets on that website. I think 10 sockets is a good number, and then that'll probably go up to $10, $12, $15, whereas 100 sockets might get to $30. So that's what I'm playing with now. It's like I have all this stuff. How do I lot it up? And then some of the stuff that's good, I'll run individually. But a lot of the bigger stuff, I'm going to just start. And then, again, I just need to get something out of most of this stuff that I don't feel like selling. So there's some junk lots. Some of the other things I sold, my wife's clothes that I had at $1 a piece. I sold a lot of clothes at $1 a piece, and then had a bunch left. That's basically what I had left was that, and a little bit in the boxes. And then I had a guy come up, and he was looking at it, and I said, "No, I don't want to put this back in the car. If you give me $50, you can have it all." That dude's eyes lit up. He looked like me, getting excited about paying a quarter and selling it for $1. So that was cool.
And maybe he's a reseller. You should have given him. You should have. Did you meet? Any
I did not mention
like
that I was a reseller. I just acted like I was selling. A couple people asked me, and I said, "Yeah, they were resellers," but I didn't tell them I did a podcast or any of that stuff. I was like, "I'm just here to get rid of my shit." But
just here to get rid of stuff.
I have enough friends.
And see, there again, folks. There's the big thing. He sold a bunch of clothes for $1, and my mind goes, "Oh man." Because here's the thing. I've sold a lot of clothes. I don't necessarily like clothes. It wasn't I didn't want to get into it. In fact, several times I've tried to get out of it. I keep getting more. And it keeps selling for me. Whereas, gosh, I tried to get into hats. Didn't work. I tried to get into belt buckles, and I bought 2 belt buckles. One actually sold because it took a little while.
Yeah, it was a good
belt buckle. One belt buckle I asked you about. And that, it actually sold and made money, but the other one sat there for so long, I ended up giving it away. So don't think that what you have, if it's not selling, is necessarily junk. It just may not be the right for you. Go do something like what he's talking about here. My wife and I are talking about having a yard sale in front of our house, a little area, flat area we've got. We're thinking about doing one there. And I'm like, because there's a lot of stuff that's just not selling for me. That I could put in that and sell it and make a little bit of money off of it because, just get it out of my way. It's not selling. So I was glad to hear that you did that. I don't know that I would do $900 doing a yard sale in front of my house.
I mean, and I'm pretty sure I can go back multiple times and do a similar amount. I got there early, and honestly, by 11 o'clock, it was done. I was done selling what I think I was going to sell. And then a little bit, I stayed until 2:30. And then that guy came up around 2:30. I'm like, "Hey, man, you want the rest of it? $50? Just get the hell out of here." So,
Great deal.
yeah,
For
I'm ready to go home.
Oh, yeah.
But in the future, I might just go to 11 and do
some
that. I don't know.
That's why some people show up late.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got people who show up late to yard sales. They show up late to yard sales to see what they can find that's been picked over already and get the deal of the day. That's what they call it. In fact, I watched a group of people. They don't call themselves resellers. They call themselves thrifty buyers. And I watched a couple of their stuff, and that's what they do. They purposely go to yard sales and flea markets late because they can get stuff like that, get whole boxes for
Next enough.
For
At that
bucks.
point, what I had left in the car, and my plan was, I was stopping at Goodwill on the way here and dropping it off. I'm just going to get rid of it. And then today I worked in the garage. I loaded up, I don't know, like 14 boxes of books, drove to Goodwill, and they unloaded them, and I moved on. I need to make room in the garage. I need to go through it, and so I'm going through. Now I need to make up new boxes, and I got to come up with new stuff to sell. Instead of doing for the flea market, I'm going to build 100 lots for this auction thing next week, and then start that and see if I can see how I do on there. The advantage to that is they come to you. You don't go to them. You don't have to ship. It's a local thing. They pick up.
One big thing that I want to stress to our viewers, and I know you guys, we're not the biggest podcast out there. I get it. But you guys that listen regularly, and the ones who are just finding us now, I want to stress one thing to you. Where we're at right now in this mid-time frame, transitional time, whatever you want to call it, of the year, where we're moving into summer and all this, and then a transitional time of season for the United States economically and all that. However you want to say it, I don't care. Who's the one? I don't care. I'm not getting to that. Here's my advice. Trim back. You need to trim back your expenses, especially with your eBay stuff, because Ben's and I are noticing trends and changes on eBay. Like we told you, the $5 stuff is no longer worth it. $10 stuff is getting to where you're pushing it. You need to start moving to that $20 item. And that's what he's talking about here, and getting rid of that inventory that's unsellable on eBay or that sells below.
And I think it's cyclical to you, right? So I know I watch a lot of big time sellers, and these people are jamming it on a List Easy or Easy List or whichever one, the one that everybody's using, and they're going the other way. I can go to Commonwealth Flipper. I used to go, I went on his thing. He's got a lot of stuff that's under $10. And before he didn't have that. But I think it's because now he can list it so fast. And I don't know that people are starting. I know, I got that thing too. But it doesn't make sense to me that all these people that I watch are going the other way when I'm like deciding, I want to get out of the cheap and get into the more expensive.
Here's what they're looking at. And I'm going to give you the scenario, folks. So let's discuss that for just a minute, because interesting brings that up. So the reason Benz and I want to do that is because, one, we value time. We have what's called, now I'm just going to don't argue with it. This is what it is. Time valuation of money is basically what it is. You can look this principle up. How much is your time worth? How much is the time actually worth? These guys go, if I can sell 200 items, post it on there and sell 200 items and make $3 an item, I've made $600.
Right.
My thing is, you just pack though 200 items, and how long did that take you? They're not thinking in that same loop yet. They're not to that point yet. They're going, if I jam all this stuff on here,
but that's
blow it out. But are they really? Because I'm sorry, it's packing. Even if you've got a good system for packing, like I got a pretty good system now. Too. Generally, it doesn't matter the item unless its artwork takes longer. But general item, clothing is easy for me. It goes in a poly bag and out the door. But the longest time frame now, besides artwork, takes me 5 minutes to pack. But here's the thing. My hourly wage, what I make per hour in my regular job, you couldn't compare that to making $2 in 5 minutes packing.
I think the difference is too, we both have regular jobs. We're not doing this full time. If I was doing this full time, and I was going to be packing anyways. And that's what I used to say. Oh, I'm packing anyways. Who cares? I just throw that in there and take an extra couple minutes. But now I'm not. I'm not selling like I was. So maybe that's part of it too. If I was doing this full time, I'd probably be trying to get every single dollar.
Oh yeah, I agree. If you're doing it full time, but if you've got another job and you're doing this as a part-time reseller, then you're wanting to make it worth your while. And that's going to be somewhere around the $20 value. Sell it, you're going to be packing, having all your time to pack. But now, if you're wanting to do it full time, yeah, get on there, jam it all out, make it your 40-hour work week.
Crazy cat. Say hi.
But yeah, if you're doing this like Ben's hour, where you're doing it in your spare time after hours, and you got a family and you got things to do, you don't want to be packing 10, 15, 20, 40 things that you made $1 a piece off of.
Exactly.
So yeah, I understand where a lot of the others are going. They've got the AI stuff now there, and they've talked about their increased sales and how they're selling 200 things now. I'm like, yeah, you're selling 200 things, $200.
Exactly. Is that really the right move?
$2 items.
I don't think it is either.
I really don't think
it's the same people that I used to listen to, and they'd be like, oh yeah, it's not worth your time to do low-end stuff. But now that we got an easy way to list it, maybe they have Roger the robot who can pack. I don't know. I ain't got him. At some point, maybe we will. But at this point, I don't think it makes sense to sell $5. I'm still selling $5 things, but I'm not. I'm getting rid of all that.
I am, but I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying to get out of it. And I did see one thing, and it's now okay. So I'm going to explain how this works. But I don't know the full thing, but it was a quick. What do they call them? It's on YouTube. It's the quick shorts.
Okay. Yeah, short.
The shorts. It was a short excerpt from somebody who talked about packing, and they are a retail, so they're not a reseller. But I came across it, and I was like, that's awesome. Apparently, they drink a lot of sodas, a lot of canned sodas, or they're asking all their neighbors. But what they do is they take those boxes and they run them through this type of shredder. It doesn't shred them completely, just like puts little things on them. Yeah. And they're using that as their packaging. Yeah. And they sure enough, they've got them made up. They run them through the thing, and they've got them stacked. And it's quick pack. And yes, it's very protective. I don't know exactly how they're manufacturing, what machine.
We had one of those in my old life at HSN that we tested. That you take your, so we had a box machine that would make boxes. So you'd put like 4 foot by 4 foot blanks in there, and then as you hit it would make a box out of it, and then save the pieces, and then make different size boxes, and then eventually you ended up with all these little pieces, little chunks. And we had a machine that we'd run it through, and it would cut it would cut a wave in it, and it would become like this thing where you could push something into it, and it would just kind of cover it up. We went away from that machine because it was cheaper to have boxes made set sizes. It was something we tested, but it was just like a paper shredder type machine, but it didn't shred it. It just serrated it into like little sheets of.
Yeah, she's packing everything in that type of thing, and because some of them were bigger and some of them were whatever, but it didn't matter because she would fold it up together, it would collapse up together, and she cut it off and tied a little bow around and label on it. And it's
those
gone.
Are cool.
So they're coming back. I said all that to say this. You're right. The guys who told us for years it's not worth it are now saying, oh, we've got a way to list it. It's worth it. I'm not sure it is, because listing is only half of the battle. Listing is only, yes, faster listing. Love it. You're never going to get me to go back to the other. In fact, if they make me go back to the other, I'll quit. I'm not going to do it. But you also got your pack time too. So when I come, and here's me as a part-time reseller. Okay. I've got my listing to do. Then I've got my packing to do. So I don't want my listing to take 4 or 5 hours, because I'm working a full-time job. And then I don't want my packing to take 4 or 5 hours.
I'd love for my packing to take
can't
4 or
have
5
time to
hours. 'Cause
do
that means
things.
I sold like 1,000 things, right? I'm
If
just kidding.
If it took
I'm
that
just
long,
kidding.
yeah, I would do it. But I don't want
I agree.
it to.
I
what
want
I'm
to get
saying
to
is,
where I sell something,
know-
I make $50, and if I sell 20 things a week, I've made a really good week. Selling $25 things
Yeah.
a week ain't a really good week, right? That's $100. So,
And you and I know too that honestly, when we started, we used to do this thing, folks, and go back and look at some of our older ones. Some of our older stuff, if you're just now with us. And if you have been with us the whole time, go back and look at some of them. Because what Benz and I started to notice was a trend during Pick or Pass. Is this trend. If it was around $20,
yeah.
it's most of the time, now not always, but most of the time, it had a higher sell-through rate. Because the dollar items are so many out there. The $5 items, there's hundreds of thousands. We did one that was a $5 item, and I remember it. I was like, good Lord. It had, what was it, like 1.2
something like that.
million of the same item out there?
You're never
I
going to
was
sell
like,
it.
good Lord.
But when I was doing the best, I had a mix of cheapy, mid-level, and a lot of high-dollar stuff. I don't have any high-dollar stuff anymore, and that's when I was making $1,000 a week. And that's where I want to get back to. My goal is to start clearing. Let me get through this here, and then as I do, probably for the next 3 weeks, I'm probably going to really work on this massive selling stuff at the yard sale and selling stuff on this, not yard sale, but the flea market, and selling stuff at the auction. And while I'm doing that, I'm sorting out the stuff that's decent money stuff. And if I get time, I'll list it. But I really need to make space and clear up my area for real, and not just move it from here and move it from there and put stuff in the roof, which I did. So I realized I'm too old and fat to be climbing stairs into the roof to hide shit no more. So.
See, that's also what I'm talking about too when I was talking about you need to cut down on your debt. Because here's the thing. I've noticed too, okay, now that I've got 2 things coming, 3 things, whereas I used to just have 1. I used to just have $4.95 a month. As long as I had $4.95 in the account, that was all that mattered. Now I've got $4.95, which I'm on to up to the $26.95. I've got the
That's my
music, man. I got that. Then I've got the AI lister. And so the list goes on and on. I've added things I've got to cover. Ben's right now has 2 storage units. He needs to get that. He needs to get that gone because he's not going to be as profitable if he doesn't.
Oh, that's my wife.
So,
I got to answer this. Hold on.
I think that's a. You might want to turn it on mute there.
I typed her. I'm like, doing my podcast. I picked up because she called 3 times. All right. We're good. She said, okay.
Okay. All right. Folks, here's the thing. We understand spouses is the most important, regardless. But what have we got? I know we're running.
No, we're good.
long
Hey, so the
time.
first
We're
thing
gonna
we need to
cut this
talk about
down.
is at the end of the podcast. The last time we went when he tried to share. So let's finish that pick or pass and then do our pick or pass for this week. You want to do that?
Sound like a winner to me. We got 2 left sections left. We can move into pick or pass, and of course we got our commercials and our eBay news. So let's talk about that. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and share this right here, this was the one that got cut
Precious
off last
names,
week.
right?
This is how that box of Christian books that I got for like $1.
All right,
So
I'm writing the times down now, so it saves me time on the other end. All right. So here's the vintage Christmas or Christian Christmas songbook. There was one.
yeah, there is one listed, and that's what we found last week too. The only one listed. Now, if you notice, the one that's listed has the
Yeah, so it's only $5.
This one, so mine has both things with it. The only thing I got is where somebody wrote on it 25 cents right here. I don't know how long ago. I think I read in it that you could, back when this was printed, you could order like a dozen for $5 or something.
So we're gonna look at the solds.
Let's look at the solds, and boom,
$9.75.
So Right there is a $9.75.
So
with shipping.
No,
or
plus shipping. Yeah,
plus shipping. So yeah, plus shipping. Yeah, $9.75
So
plus
that's
shipping.
100% sell-through rate, $10 item. There you go.
Yep. I'm going to make money
go.
off of it. And I'm going to list this one by itself.
I would. I'd list it by
Definitely
itself. And I would list it for $14.95 because it sold for $10. Now, the only one that's listed is $5, but it's got a ripped cover. If someone was looking at that before, they're like, oh, I lost it. Now, give an opportunity to get it again. And then maybe they'll make you an offer for $9.32 or whatever the hell it was. All right. All right, so
that's true. Because there's the thing, too. If you list this one at $9.75, folks, then somebody's going to want to make you an offer. No, don't do that. All right.
It's a Franklin Spanish to English dictionary. It's up for $2 at a yard sale.
I would pick that for $2 every day, twice on Sunday. I would pick that for $2. I would.
Now, I did send him a GPS earlier in the week, which I didn't share on here. But that GPS I sent you and said you pick or pass on it, you were like, I'll pass.
Oh,
because the picture, it looks like it's a cheap Chinese piece of junk. And I thought the same thing until I picked up. I'm like, it's kind of heavy and it's rubber coated. And it sells for like $50. So I'm like,
it turns out from the picture you didn't show me, because I went and looked it up, it's a bicycler GPS. So it's specifically made for
I
these
showed
people.
you what you saw and whether you'd pick or pass it.
If I had been there, I would have seen what it was, and I would, because I said pass, folks, and I would have picked that. I would have picked it, and I've been there because I know guys. The guy, it doesn't matter if it's two wheels, you're obsessed. That's what I'm going to say this, and you guys know what I'm talking about. If you pedal your two wheels, or if you crank your two wheels, if you ride two wheels, you're obsessed, and you will buy stuff through the roof and pay through the roof for it, and that. And what he found, and I think you should do a spring pass later
next week.
But
that's not in the true sense of it. So it's the BSE 940. Here's one for 15. There's one for 7, just parts only.
Let's clarify for the folks who aren't watching the video or just listening to the podcast. We've gone back to the Spanish-English dictionary. We're not talking about the GPS anymore. But we're talking about the Franklin-speaking Spanish-English dictionary, BES 1940.
So there's one listed for 15 plus shipping. There's one listed for $8, but that's parts only. So that's not it.
Yeah, so the one for $8
new in a
doesn't
box,
work.
it's $75, $39, $19.95. This is the exact one I have right here. It looks just like mine. It's 32, 29, 21, 21. So I would think probably $20. Yeah, is what I would try to sell for.
Now the 21 didn't have a cover. Scroll down. Scroll back down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different model.
Doesn't look like it's got a cover.
It's the same thing. I don't know why it doesn't have a cover. But maybe, and that's the thing. The cover, you would think it would flip around, but it just goes to there. It doesn't go all the way around. So that has to be broken off. All right. So let's see.
Okay, so how many were available? Scroll back up. Let's see how many are available.
Too many questions. 37.
37. So it's 37 available.
Sold. Come on. One. Fucking one. $25 free shipping.
Ooh.
Yeah, these are all 1850s, 1890s.
No, there's one.
Different number.
Yeah, those are different
models. Of that
models.
model, there's one that's sold.
So one divided by 30 is not going to be great.
More than 5%. Or it's 5%? No, it's less than that.
Not the biggest math guy, so
you're supposed to calculate mine. So 1 divided by 37 equals 2.8%. So not a good sell-through.
2.8%.
Not a good sell-through. But for $2, it's worth a shot. And I didn't look it up, and I assumed, for $2.
And that's our deal for Pick or Pass. We're not looking this stuff up, folks. Normally, we would tell you, and we would look some stuff up. But the rule for Pick or Pass is we cannot look it up. Now, I think he looked up that GPS.
I did not.
But still,
I did not look at the GPS till I got in the car.
So
Because it was $1.
okay.
I'm like, I'm gonna take it for $1, and it turned on and it worked, and it had the cable and everything.
Absolutely, I would have
Yeah,
taken it for
I'm
$1.
like, for $1, I'm gonna buy this.
Absolutely.
And even it'd just be cool to have in case you break down somewhere and you don't know where the hell you are. You GPS your ass way home.
Yeah, it's not that type of GPS.
Well, it
really
gives you longitude and latitude. I think if you can put in there where you're going, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
I don't know what it is.
let's move on to my picker pass.
All right, what do you got?
Evening. So I got another songbook, and I was thinking about locking all these songbooks up, folks, but I'm definitely not
Put
lock
down
this
some.
one. I'm gonna sell it separately. And so I'm starting to go, should I lock these up or should I sell them separately? So we got another one. Let's check this out. This is a even older one. It is Windows of Heaven Known 7, Sunday Schools, Singing Schools, and Social Gatherings. J.B. Vaughn, Athens, Georgia, and Mount Sylvan, Texas. 20 cents per copy, $2 or $2 per dozen prepaid. So this is a really
old.
old,
$2 per dozen prepaid.
old songbook. And it's in decent shape for its age. It's got some crinkles here, it's got some crinkles there, but the binding's still solid, and it does not have the staples, the old-timey staples.
All right.
It does not have them. So it's just a glued binding, and it's still all together.
All right.
So,
Will you share?
yeah, go ahead and share because you looked them up. Because wait a minute, before you share, would you? And he looked it up, but would you pick it?
Yeah,
Remember, I've
yeah.
got
For
like
7
7
cents, I'd
cents
pick
in these.
anything. So yeah, the Hymnal books, they're older. They're definitely plus. It's by J.B. Vaughn. That's my son's last name, Vaughn.
Mm-hmm. Look at that.
4 of them listed.
Now
This is
are
volume
double
11,
11s.
volume 5, and volume 3 and 4.
There's volume 3 and
4
4.
was something else, but
Yeah, so this is number 7. That's this early 1900s. So this could be early 1900s. It could be
1800s,
late
somewhere in there, yeah.
1800s. So it's an old book. You guys that watch with us, if you know about books, you feel free to help me out on this one. Comment on it. I'd love to learn more, a little bit more about it. You guys who know more about books. I'm happy with that. Look, 1875. I'd be happy with $10
Yeah,
or
yeah.
7 cents. Good
all right,
Lord.
let's see if any. Let's see.
I think this
So
one
he
here
had
too by
4
itself.
listed,
4,
none sold.
none sold.
But there's only 4 listed,
Okay.
so I wouldn't be
So
discouraged.
0%.
0%, but I think it's got good potential.
For 7 cents, and it's not that big. I'll put it on the turntable over here. I've got one of them little turntables. I'll put it in there and list it, and it sells. Because, again, it's in the perfect price range. It's not below $10. So I'm not throwing it away. But that's pretty awesome. I'm tickled with those right there. I can't beat them. So there's our picker pass for this session. We did finish up our last one. And I think I would have picked the item that Ben's picked. I definitely would have picked it, especially for $1 or $2, because those things generally run, as you saw them in the package, around $70 to $80, sometimes a little more, sometimes $100, depending upon who made them. Texas Instruments used to have one that was like $120 new. I would have picked it up for that, and I would list it.
Yeah.
So moving along, what do we have in our eBay news or our eBay commercials?
I got some
Any
eBay news.
or
eBay
anything
news.
like
eBay announced a 3-week postage rate change. eBay announced a puzzling rate change for USPS Ground Advantage shipments for shipping labels purchased through its platform, though it is known as an eBay label. The puzzling because the 3-week change affects a subset of certain weights and zones. It does not correlate to anything the USPS has on their program, but there is a weight. It doesn't, and I read this article 3 times. It doesn't say whether it goes up or down, but I'm assuming it's going up. And its weight's between 12 and 15.99 ounces. The price increase of 11.8%. I didn't see that the last time. Yeah.
So it is going to. It's going to go up
For 3 weeks.
11.8%. For
I
3
have
weeks.
no
Why
idea.
for 3 weeks?
It's just a random thing that came out.
Okay. Okay. I have some eBay news as well to share. It says this came from an eBay email. Hello team. As part of the ongoing rollout of the coins condition requirement updates. And do you guys hear me? Coins condition requirement updates. So if you're not listing coins, you may not have got this. If you are, you should have gotten it. Upcoming enforcements will soon require condition data for all applicable listings. Beginning next week, condition requirements will become mandatory for all new non-API listings. New non-API. I'm not sure.
API is like what you're doing with the AI lister. It goes in through an API. Non-API listing would be one you did manually.
Okay. So a non-new API would be a non AI
or anything.
listing, right?
An API listing is if you filled out a spreadsheet and then fed it to eBay. That's using the API to interface with it.
Enforcement for new API listings will begin the first week of June. So June 1st.
So that's giving them a little more time to fix it on the other end, probably.
Enforcement for existing non-API and API listings will begin in phases from mid-June through early July. So they're telling you it's going to become mandatory. The enforcement is going to start hitting mid-June, early July. Once enforcement begins, listings missing required condition details may be blocked from being created, hidden from buyers, unable to be revised or relisted. In some cases, eBay may assign a condition to an item to help streamline the transition and reduce customer friction. As the seller, you must confirm any assigned conditions to your listings. So you basically, all types of coins, U.S., world, Canadian, ancient, and medieval, all those categories are impacted. You must start adding condition details to all new listings. Review any automatically updated listings for accuracy. Begin updating existing listings that are missing condition information. And check your listings periodically and confirm any assigned conditions. So if you are selling coins, you're gonna have to put a condition to them. They're not gonna let you just, because a lot of mine, I don't judge coins. I have trouble with that. So I go, I don't know. I just put nothing there because I'm like, I don't know what. I'm not gonna pay to have it graded. So I may end up pulling all my coins. I don't know. I don't have that many left. I've got some over here that I was gonna list. I may end up pulling out all my coins because apparently serious coin collectors have complained and maybe even threatened lawsuits or something, because I tried to do a little more reading on it than just the email. And now you've got to put a condition. Here's the problem that I have. If you don't know the condition, you can't judge the condition. You can get, what's going to happen if I put the wrong one?
You can get hosed.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm going to do a little bit more research on it, but guys, know this, coming by June 1st, period. And this is just email just got this week. So by this next week, but by June, period, by mid-June, definitely, they're going to start enforcing it. They're going to start blocking your listings. And it's probably usually as eBay progresses, they usually have a graduated scale. First, they send you an email, say, hey, you forgot to do this. You got such time to fix it. It's hidden right now. And then they start progressing from there. Mostly, that's usually the way they do it. And you don't want to get to the point where something's been blocked from relisting, because you get too many blocked from relisting on your account, that can cause problems later on. I don't know. I may end up pulling all my coins. I haven't decided yet. But just wanted to pass that on to you guys. Just good
news. The other thing this week, eBay ad compliance tool, and ad controls in the seller update for May. Read through that. Basically what it comes down to is regulatory guide. There's a compliance support page that goes to its regulatory guide to help sellers find independent providers to help them comply with product safety, tariff, and environmental regulations. I think that has a lot to do with exporting, because I know if you send stuff to Germany, can it be packed and styrofoam? There's all kinds of weird stuff with that. So they have a page now to deal with that. And the other thing was updating the sellers who advertise using campaigns. So if you have a rule-based listing selected, it automatically adds it to your campaign based on the criteria you set, like category, price, condition. As your inventory changes, your campaign updates automatically, adding new listings and making your rules and removing those that no longer qualify. So apparently, like I end and redo my campaigns, but apparently you can set, hey, anything that hits this and that, and as you list things, it'll suck it in and kick it out if you change it. So that's cool, but I'm not exactly sure how that works.
That is neat.
But those are the two things I saw this week that were interesting for eBay news.
Sweet. That is some good news and good things to know, guys. You might want to run this back and maybe write it down or take a special note.
So
Because those are some critical things to know about selling. What you got commercial-wise?
I got two commercials. One's Kool-Aid and one's Skittles. But the Kool-Aid one, we'll play that one first.
Kool-Aid, new, better box. When last we left you, our school bully was about to chug his drink box. Alas, he never saw where went his straw and thus made a mess of his vest. It was then that he spotted Kool-Aid Cooler's new, better box. Easier and neater with an attached straw you just can't lose. Not having it did not sit well with a have-not, and things weren't looking too good until...
Wacky Wild Kool-Aid Style!
And so our tale of Kool-Aid Coolers comes wackily, happily to an end.
What's the eBay commercial? Mr. Cool, but what's the eBay commercial?
So my question is, did you ever see that? I never saw that. I don't know when that's from. I never saw that product where it was a Kool-Aid box and then you could just use the straw that was built into it.
I'm guessing, though. From the... See, that wouldn't work because what's interesting is about our lives was when after I was an adult, I was a young adult. You were an adult with kids.
Yeah.
We both had our kids young, but we had them like yours were pretty much grown.
Yeah.
Mine,
it should have hit both one of the two of us, or hit us.
It should have hit one of us. One of us should have seen it because by the commercial, it looks like that was done in 2000s.
From '92.
Maybe.
It was from '92. So that would have been when you were a kid. That's the thing. I've never seen that ever. I've never seen a. First off, I don't remember Kool-Aid making juice boxes. But I never saw that. I was like, that was interesting because
maybe
I graduated high school in '91. But you'd have been in the right perfect age to take that wacky wild Kool-Aid style.
I would have been
back to it was '92.
I would have been. That should have been right there with me. But no, my dad was too cheap. We didn't even get Kool-Aid. We got the Flavor Aid or whatever.
That's what I got too.
Because Kool-Aid was like 25 cents a pack, and we got it like 5 cents a pack.
Right, so I'm going to share another commercial that I just found personally hilarious. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. No, this is a Skittles commercial
from the 90s. A Skittles commercial. Taste the rainbow.
Into Skittles.
That's awesome.
Is it awesome? Well, you can't hold your newborn baby boy in your arms. Did you feed and dress yourself this morning? I didn't. I met a man on the bus today. I shook his hand. He'll never see his family again. I guess that's pretty awesome. Excuse me.
Touch the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
I know why they never played that one.
Shook a man's hand today.
First of all, I thought you was playing it because,
and the guy's name.
First, I thought you was playing it because he said Joel.
That's what Coley told him.
I thought that's why you were playing it. No, that was that was way super dark. I shook a man's hand today on the bus. He will never see his family. Does that make that does not make you want to go buy Skittles?
That's the craziest commercial I've seen in a while. So I've been watching weird commercials, trying to bring them up. eBay commercials. There are A lot of the cool eBay commercials that I see are for eBay Europe, not for here. They don't really translate, but I'm just going to keep bringing commercials.
That's okay. We don't mind having weird commercials. Let's not have them that dark, though.
There's a lot of
that was touch the rainbow,
yeah.
Taste the rainbow.
I like it.
No!
I shook a man's hand on the bus today. He'll never see his family again.
Yeah, and he goes, "Excuse me," to answer the now. The answer to the phone, he could have left out the guy on the bus. The commercial would have been fine.
No, it had to show you. You
bus.
Can't even hold your grandbaby. Did you dress yourself?
Yeah.
Like you imagine. Oh, turn yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, it went downhill real quick. Anyway. Oh, wow. What
While
a
recording
show.
your device, camera light may remain on even if it's disabled. What the hell is that?
Descript started spying
While
on us.
disabled, your video will not record. What? So is my video not recording? I don't know. We'll figure it out. People, we've made it to the end. Possibly we'll get a full episode this time. Or you'll hear one of us go, oh, hey, that quit working. So see you next week. Hopefully you watched the end of this week's one, the last week one. I added a music video.
We love each and every one of you. We're so glad you're with us.
We
truly,
are. Oh, for sure.
We are.
Thank you.
And the three of you who think we're the best in the world.
It's six.
Six.
We're number one. Six.
Six. To the six of you.
To only
think we're
three
the
of
best
them.
in
The other
world.
three.
We are.
That's what you're telling me. That's rude. You other three, I still like. He only cares for three of you. He doesn't know who you are. But he decided, that's his thing. He only likes 50% of the people he meets. So he's assuming three of you are hunks of shit and the other three are cool. So the three, and you don't know which three he's talking to. It could be you or it could not be you. But half of you, he's thanking. The other half, take a ride.
I'm just surprised there's six of you that like us that good. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys again for watching and spending time with me and Chucklehead over here. We had a great time recording this, and we will continue to do this until we're old and gray. Oh, shit. It already happened.
We're already there.
Have a good week.
Until we turn to Skittle or dust.
Yes. I'm going to see if I can get Skittle pictures. All right. See you next week. Bye.